on this beautiful October night, we got a volleyball player going. The team is just outstanding this year. Okay. Rachel, what's new? What's good? And how is it going? How's it popping on this October night?
Hi, thank you for having me, first of all. I would just want to say that. It's going pretty good. So yeah, it's going really good right now.
Absolutely. You guys are one of the best teams in the North. No, in the state. Okay. 21-2 at the moment of this interview.
Mhm.
Okay. Looking for a PCC championship, looking for a sectional championship, looking for a regional championship, looking for a semi, and possibly even a state, because most of the great teams are in the region with Andrean, with all you guys are going to play. But let's get to know you a little bit more. How did you start in volleyball?
Um, well, I started at like in 7th grade when like it's available in middle school, and I really didn't even want to play at first, but my friends kind of like talked me into it because we kind of did like every sport together. So we signed up together, and honestly at the first practice, like we were doing like running and conditioning, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to do this anymore." But then like once we started playing games and the whole team aspect of it, like I just really fell in love with it. And so then I decided that that was going to be like my main sport that I wanted to play and like go further in. And so I just stuck with it. And now I'm here, my senior year, still playing. So yeah.
Absolutely. What's kind of the moments when you're going into 7th and 8th grade that you're like, I'm going to continue this my freshman year? Because some kids don't even continue their sports going into their freshman year and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I always like I always wanted to be busy with something. So I decided like in middle school I was gonna try things. So I did basketball and volleyball. And by the end of 8th grade, I was like, okay, basketball is not something I want to carry into high school. It's not for me really. So I decided that freshman year I would just try out volleyball. And I loved the team aspect of it. Like everyone that I grew up with
Mhm.
time like moving up with me, and I was still being able to play with all my friends. So I guess that's just like it still drew me into it even into high school.
Absolutely. Kind of talk about your freshman year, kind of difference between 8th grade volleyball and now JV volleyball.
Oh, big difference because 7th, 8th grade, you're just getting to know the game. You're getting to know like the position that you might be the best for. So it's just a six rotation. You literally play in every spot. And then freshman year, it's like you go to practice and you have to learn a lineup. You have to learn a rotation and you have to learn like where you're supposed to be. And you're not going to be a left, a middle, and a setter the whole time. Like you're gonna be a middle or you're gonna be a setter, and you're not gonna change your position. So that was a big change. It took a while for me to like get that down because I was like I know how to remember things, but I'm like, oh wait, I'm not supposed to like just rotate. Like I have to go to different spots on the court. So that was a big difference going into freshman year versus like middle school volleyball.
Absolutely. So what was kind of your favorite positions your freshman and sophomore year?
Freshman and sophomore year, the coach kind of switched me between being a middle and a right side. And I really liked the hitting aspect of the right side because I felt like I got a better angle. I mean, I am a right handed player anyway. So, like, even though lefties are like the best right sides most of the time because it's a switch up, I love the angle of hitting the ball. And then in middle, I love being able to block. I didn't really even like hitting middle like freshman and sophomore year. I kind of hated it. But blocking was really fun because it's just such a momentum boost, and it's just really cool to like use your height to like block the ball. I just really found that to be interesting and fun.
Absolutely. Let's kind of talk about the mechanics of it for those folks at home and stuff like that that are not as educated in volleyball and stuff like that with a middle blocker. So, what aspects do you need to be a good middle blocker?
Um, I definitely think that I mean height is always an advantage. It's always a great aspect to have as a middle blocker. But for me personally, I'm not like a really tall middle blocker. So I think you really need to learn how to make yourself tall. Like you really need to dig deep and jump very high. Like you need to really use your legs and work on your legs throughout practice to get up high to block. You need to be very like quick to the ball. Anticipation is really key. It's really key for any position on the court, but you need to know like because as a middle you're in every block, so if it's left, if it's right, if it's in the middle, like you need to be able to anticipate the set to which side it's going to go and then be quick enough to get there and set the block with whoever you're blocking with.
Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. So, what are some of the mental aspects of volleyball?
They're literally in every second of the game. I mean, like you miss a block and it's like in your head, you're like, could have gotten that, but then you really need to think like there's always a next ball. Like that's what's great with volleyball. My coach always says it. There's always a next ball, always another opportunity for greatness. And so you kind of have to get out of that block of like you missed the ball, you weren't quick to the ball, you weren't there on the block, like you just put your libero in a terrible position because you were late to jump, like in everything. You need to get past that and just think, I have the next one. I have a momentum boost for the next one, and just really like push it out of your head that you just missed one and just go on to the next play.
Okay. So it's like you gotta have that quick mindset. Just let it go and kind of like baseball and all that other stuff.
Super quick, it's out of your head, never happened, on to the next.
Okay. Okay. So do you like the quickness of the game?
I do now. I used to like hate it because like that I didn't like being a middle for the longest time because it was like you had to be quick or you're like you had to be so quick or else you were gonna be late and you're gonna mess up the whole thing. But now I really do because I've been working on like all the different sets and moving around with the setter, moving around with the ball, and so now I really do enjoy how quick and fast paced like the middle position is.
Absolutely. What are kind of things that you've learned through your first 2 years? Like,
Through my first 2 years, I definitely learned how to play or like connect with the setter. Like now, Hope and I like we talk all the time. Like, oh, do you want to run this? Do you want to run this? Like I really learned how to connect with the setter and connect with back row too, because like Riley, our libero now will be like, hey, like close the block, or hey, she's literally only covering your left side, try and hit the right corner. So like I've learned how to connect with different parts of the team, which obviously we're all connected, but like different positions on the team so that they can like they help me better myself in the middle position. They always like tell me where to go, where to hit, what corners are open. So I've learned how to like connect with them individually with that.
absolutely. Kind of going into the different aspects and stuff like that. You're now a junior. What did the upperclassmen while you're junior, your sophomore, and your uh, freshman year teach you 1 year, the last year, and stuff like that? What did you carry towards the message towards the freshmen coming up last year?
Um, the upperclassmen have always taught me to kind of be like, well, I mean, they were always a good example for me on how hard they worked to get to the place they were at. I always really like watching them work and listening to what they were saying, like pointers and everything, because they never came at it with like an attitude of like, I'm better than you because I'm this age. But they really did instill in all of us that like the freshmen are your next like volleyball generation. So like you can't just treat them like they're not good enough. Like you have to give them the same respect as someone older than you that knows a lot about volleyball because they're not going to want to come back if you're just going to like treat them like they're not good because next year when I'm not here, like they're going to be the next people that are taking over and if they don't think they're good enough for it, they're not going to want to come back. So that's kind of like what everyone has always instilled in us, like upperclassmen and coaches. Like they have always said like you need to treat the underclassmen how you have always wanted to be treated while you're on the court.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, as a senior,
Yeah.
okay, okay, um, what kind of message and who are you taking under your wing as the freshmen coming in here?
Well, there's two freshmen in particular that kind of like stuck to me. McKenna Welsh and Gwen. They're like my best friend. I mean, I have them in one of my class hours during school. I have an independent studies in one of their art classes. So we kind of talk volleyball there. And then like at practice, like open gyms was when we really got to like connect and actually play with each other. And they were just always fun to play with because they're so energetic and like always up and like ready to go. And it was just fun to like really, and McKenna, she's a middle right now. So it's really fun for her to like ask me questions or just to watch her play, and like she's doing really good. Like they're both doing really good. So it was really fun to like kind of take her and like show her like, oh, you're doing good, or this is what you can do and stuff like that. So they're really fun to hang out with and be around.
I bet, I bet, I bet. Okay, it looks like it when they're playing JV and stuff like that. They're super energetic. Uh, there's, like you've said, there's stuff when you're a freshman you need to learn and stuff like that. You kind of zone in on, but both of them look like they have bright futures
Mm-hmm.
uh, in a
Definitely.
satellite uniform and stuff like that. But with you coming up here, being 21 and 2 so far. Okay. What are some things you're looking forward to in the later parts of this year?
I always love PCC week. PCC week is like the most stressful, but also like the most fun. I feel like that's when at practice we like connect the most. That's what I remember a lot from last year. That was like probably when our team bondage was like the closest it ever was, because we just had an angle like we're gonna win this tournament. Like we need to win. And so we all have like the same mindset. So that's really fun. We just recently won the PCC round robin this past week. That was a goal that we had been looking forward to this whole time. And just like the weeks like that are coming, like really coming quick, of sectionals and regionals and everything like that. I just think I'm looking forward to all of the games coming up, honestly.
Absolutely. Okay. So, kind of talking about the season coming into here. Okay. What are some of the mega goals that you guys had coming into this year?
Coming into this year, I remember a lot of talk like open about making the team chemistry, like one of our biggest goals, team chemistry in general, but like making it even better than it was last year, like really just sticking together. And I feel like we've really shown that, like in our Couts game, like we were down 2 sets going into the third, and we really just came back and we believed in each other and stuff like that. That was one of our big goals. And then, of course, winning PCC round robin was a huge goal because we all wanted to win that. Coaches, teammates, everyone wanted to win that. And then of course doing the best we can in sectionals and just progressing and growing through the tournaments and all the games like that. Those have been like the biggest goals that we've talked about as a team during practices. That's what we're working towards with like everything that we do in practice.
Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Let's get into that Couts game a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned that. Um, so what was kind of the feeling after the second set? After Couts was pretty dominant in the first two.
Yeah, the feeling, I remember we were in the huddle and Jake Wade, one of our coaches, on the coaching staff, said something about how a few years back there was the South down 2 sets going into the third, and they were like, we can't win, and they came back and won the last three. And so when I was standing there and he was saying that, I was like, okay, but like, did you see what just happened? Like that was kind of, I don't I don't know if that's gonna happen. And then going out and we're like racking up points, we're getting like really good rallies. I'm like, oh wow, this could really work out for us. And then the energy was just like above all. Like it honestly was making me think about the semifinal PCC game last year against Couts. Like the energy in the room, and it was a regular season game, and it was just intense. It was so intense being on the court, being off the court, on the bench. It was just intense, really.
Absolutely. It was tense where I was sitting,
Yeah.
okay? Because like I'm looking, and I'm seeing like my phone just about to die. And I'm like, oh, oh. And I'm looking, I have people that are NIL providers looking at you guys, looking at Couts that game, broadcasting it for me. And I'm like, please don't let this go out. And
Mm,
then I'm like, it's gonna go 5 sets now since it's about to go, because and then you guys did it, and then I was like, "Wow, okay, then we have something. We have
yeah.
probably even a perfect season on this." But going into the Mishawaka games and stuff like that, okay, so what kinda happened there in that tournament and stuff
That
like that?
Yeah, so we really went into it thinking about Culver. Culver Academy actually dropped us because they said that they weren't like on our normal season roster because they said that we weren't enough competition and they picked up Couts and then we beat Couts. So it was kind of going into it, we were like really focused on that and focused on like proving ourselves. And so we went in, we beat Culver, we're moving along and we come back and I think it was really a test of like how we came back in the Couts game. Like we wanted to come back and win the second set, and then we go to the third set. And sometimes teams just like lose momentum, and we've been known to do that. And we still after that game happened, we and with the Fairfield game as well, we still had like team meetings, and we were like, we're still not gonna like our chemistry is not broken after that. Like our coach kind of said, okay, we're not undefeated anymore. Like that takes that monkey off our back. Like we don't have to have that big weight on our shoulders of trying to like keep that record up and which would be amazing, but our record right now is also amazing. So it's okay.
Yeah.
But we still like I think the big thing that our coaches wanted to push on us and stress to us was that this doesn't break our team chemistry. Like just because you lose does not mean that the like bonds start breaking. They all stick together and you get better together and you keep moving on forward together.
I mean, I think it's better to lose early so you know
Yeah.
what it's like and what the taste is like. Just look at the girls program for basketball last year, going undefeated the whole year and then going against Andrean.
Yeah.
Um, and that monkey was a little bit too much for them.
Mhm.
So maybe the monkey is off your guys' back when you guys eventually probably play the 59ers in the state tournament.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it was definitely a good thing to have it so early. Then we're like, okay, we experienced it. Now we're done, and that's never gonna happen again. And then we move forward, and we're just not stopping on that anymore. Like we're not gonna let it happen again. We're gonna keep moving forward, and just push it behind us.
Absolutely. Even before the sectional starts, you guys got big time games, Pioneer. What's it kind of like knowing that you have PCC week and then right after you got Pioneer, you have New Prairie to kind of test you before the sectional.
It's definitely stressful to think about. I try not to think about it because it's just a very heavy thing to think about all the games we have leading up to it. I think it'll be good for us because, sometimes you have weeks where it's like, I don't want to say boring, but it's like a lot of practice for us. And then you go into weeks like that and it'll be good to experience it. I mean, we need to be completely ready on our skills during maybe even all 5 sets of the game. Like we can't just expect all three, like all 5 sets um before sectionals. I think we need to experience that hard work, sweat, like putting in everything, leaving it all out on the court, and then we'll be even more prepared for when sectionals does come.
Absolutely. And then you kind of talking about the teams that you're kind of looking at, like maybe it's practice and this and that. So like a Griffith coming up
Yeah.
who's one in whatever. Okay. So kind of like what lacrosse was last week. How do you kind of look at them and say that's not gonna it might be a challenge too, be like, hey, we know they're not good with their schedule.
Yeah.
Okay. But we can kind of be like, hey, this can be a building block for us because this could be a trap game if we don't.
Exactly. 100%. And that's what our coaches stress to us at practices before these games or before the game. Like, this is a time to be quick, to run everything that we can run, try different sets, try different hits. work on your serves. Like, this is a big chance for us to make a statement. That's what Coach Wade and all of our coaches always say. This is making a statement. Either when it's on our court or on someone else's court, you always want to come and put everything out there. And so, yeah, like Tri Township, Griffith, like all these people, like even if you can see their record, a record doesn't always show everything a team has. So you still need to come out and be ready to push and to play as hard as you can for however long you need to.
Absolutely. I like that mindset. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. So, what are some things in the near future that you're looking forward to and you're looking forward to doing after high school?
I'm looking forward to graduating. I'm not looking forward to the ending of volleyball season because I'm just like I like hanging out with all of them. I like having stuff to do, but I'm also looking forward to June when I can graduate and kind of be out of the whole high school feel. And then I'm looking forward to being able to experience a bigger school life at college. That's mostly like what I'm long term looking at right now.
Absolutely. So, what colleges are you looking at?
I'm really looking at, I mean, there's always like Purdue and IU that you just apply to see if you can get in. I've been applying to, I just recently got accepted to Marquette and University of Indianapolis. And then I applied to P&W Hammond campus and Quincy University. Those are like kind of just the few that I'm looking at. I haven't gone on any visits. I'm planning to after volleyball when it all like calms down. And then I don't know. I've never really been interested in like a certain school, so I'm just very open minded to wherever I'm gonna go.
Right. It's just whatever you're thinking of studying. I mean,
Yeah,
because some colleges don't have that certain major.
exactly. Yeah.
So, whatever you do, okay, think of it this way, okay? I have a criminal justice degree. I
Hmm.
have a social works degree, but I'm taking a year off to see if I want a communications degree.
Yeah.
Okay. Eh, Okay. So wherever, okay, because they're gonna preach school and stuff like that, like, hey, you need to have it set in stone. But as long as you get the grades and do stuff, okay, as long as you know what you're gonna do after the fact, you're gonna be set.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But we're gonna go into the hot corner. Okay. This is our last segment where we get to know you a little bit, Rachel. Okay. So what is your go-to meal?
Sushi. I love sushi.
Sushi.
Hmm.
Nice, nice. Okay. So for these Regan's Corner broadcasts, do you like the post broadcast better or do you like the live broadcast better?
I think the post, honestly. I think I like that the best.
Okay. Me too. Me too. I can do more stuff and I can put it on Regan's Corner.
Yeah.
Uh, but um, what are your favorite foods?
Oh, there's so many. Sweet foods, ice cream all the time, brownies. Real food, pizza, pasta, carbs, basically. All of the above with carbs, honestly.
Nice, nice. Okay. So what major in college are you thinking of doing?
Journalism, definitely that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a
Yeah.
lot. Okay. So what kind of journalism?
I really want to kind of go towards the editing aspect of it. I was a part of the yearbook club last year in school, the digital design, all that, and I really did like coming up with stories with the pictures that I took. So something along those lines, honestly, was something like a topic that I'm interested in. I don't know what that is yet, but something with editing, honestly.
Okay. See me after you graduate in your freshman year of college.
Okay.
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 Okay. Okay. If Regan's Corner is still a thing, see me.
Well,
Okay.
sure it will be.
Okay. So what are your favorite sports movies of all time.
Sports movies?
Yeah.
I don't really watch a lot of movies. I'm not a big movie person, so I'm trying to think of what I've seen. Oh, the Return of the Titans or whatever that one is, the football one. I really don't know the real name of it, but I do like that one. I remember watching it one year. I did like that. But I really don't watch a lot of movies, honestly.
I mean, you just got it. That's a great movie. Remember the Titans. You were so close.
Yeah, I know. I knew there were Titans in it.
Okay. So, what is your all-time favorite position on the volleyball field or court?
Definitely middle blocker. I think now I've just grown to love it so much that that's just what I'm always going to love.
Okay. Well, you're always welcome to come on here, even after your season's over. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And this will air on the second week of October on the Sunday. So it's going to go into your sectional and regional kind of run a little
Yeah.
bit more. So stay in orbit, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.